Watch the NFL on EA Sports.
And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between NFC South rivals. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. And it's all up next.
Once called Carolina's Stadium, it now goes by Bank of America Stadium. Or more simply, the Vault, as we're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott. And Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you got quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Matthew Wright set to get this one started. And off we go from Bank of America Stadium. To return this, Rashid Shaheed. Finds some space, he's past the 30. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name, it's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game in the defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Russ now from the gun. Throw secured by Brandon Cooks. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They get 13 on the pickup. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Kamara now on 1st and 10. And a couple of teammates combining there for the stop after just 1 yard.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Wilson now from the gun. And he takes it across midfield and into Panthers territory.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
An extra corner into the game for the Panthers, 3rd down. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line, you feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Here comes the Saints punting unit. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. This one's headed for the sideline and out. We'll get the mark. They say it's at the 9 where it crossed. So now out comes the Panther offense for its initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the first player picked in the 2023 NFL Draft from Alabama. It's Bryce Young.
As you're running onto the field with this kind of field position as a quarterback, you're reminding yourself and your huddle, hey, let's be disciplined. Got to be on the details here. Got to take care of the football. And you also encourage them and let them know that script you've been working on all week, well, there's a lot of field and there's a lot of plays ahead of them to go and put a score on the board.
Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Young working from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he's going to be out of bounds, I think, a yard or two short of the 20 here.
Now here's a spot where the timing's got to be absolutely perfect, Kate, between the quarterback and the receiver. That throw is made before that receiver's ever thinking of coming out of his cut. Too early, it's incomplete. Too late, and it's headed the other way.
It's Hubbard off the option. And he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run, in need of some attention. Downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. Trying to throw here out of the gun. Now it'll be caught by Adam Thielen. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Here's a give to Hubbard. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
First and 10 from the 41. Hubbard again. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Launches one deep downfield. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. So that brings them to 3rd down.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
Throw on 3rd down. He's loaded another one up. And they really went for it on 3rd down, didn't they? But the heave falls incomplete. Now they're facing 4th down.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. Set to take over. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Josie Jewell making that stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He lets a heater go deep, middle of the... Wide open down the field, and he has it! And he's all the way home. Touchdown, New Orleans! The Saints take a 6-0 lead in the 1st quarter. Chris Olave with the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Blake Groupie to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Saints will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Brings in the kick at the 9. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now for the 2nd time, we take a look at this Panther offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. This drive will begin with Hubbard. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Sent to the ground by Pete Werner. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
2nd and 8. Thielen's got it. Complete. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
New set of downs for him at the 38. To throw, here's Dalton. Throw is there for Jatavion Sanders. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And it'll give the Panthers a 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
1st down, ball at the 36. Now Dalton. He finds Sanders. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And 3rd and short in your back pocket and get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Allen sent in motion right. From the 29. Completed over the middle. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. They motion the slot man right. Dalton now to throw. And he's going to be marked down a yard shy of that marker.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
Putting one of the tight ends in motion right. Here's Dalton. This one's caught. And he drives this forward to the 6. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. So that's 1 quarter gone in a battle of NFC South rivals. Neither side separating much so far. We'll take a brief pause and head back to Bank of America Stadium after this. Time for our 2nd quarter here, and the Panthers are thinking points. Oh, flag is down here. This might be a free play. And he's across for the touchdown, and that flag is not going to stop this celebration. They know that's an offsides call. Got to the end zone with a free play, so they will, of course, decline offsides and take the points. Matthew Wright for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Panthers tie this game 7-7. Then this one away. Shaheed now to return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Saints and Chris Olave ready to take over once again on offense. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Wilson with it on 1st. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Begin the drive. That's up to the 37. Ross off the play fake. Finds him on the crossing route. And he works this to the 38 before going down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
First down throw from Wilson. This is reeled in by Kamara. And they take him down right along the 30.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make it pay.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Running back sent in motion. Russ is cooking again. Into the hands of Olave. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. That's a pickup of 9. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for first and 10. Play action, it's Wilson. Connects with Johnson. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Wilson to throw again. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. Pick up a 5 on that play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
You just got to love that angle route. It's been around a long time, but think about it defensively, Kate. How many times do you see the backs out of the backfield or just run to the flat? The great running backs know how to plant their foot, sell that flat route, break it off to an angle, and break off the first down.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Throwing again. Here's Wilson. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
So the incompletion on first. Here's second and goal. Kamara. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Saints take a second quarter lead. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even in early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Group B to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Saints break that tie and now lead by 7. On now to handle the kickoff. Raheem Blackshear now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Panthers and Andy Dalton headed back onto the field. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 32. That pass complete to McMillan. It's a 21-yard gain. And that'll be good for a Carolina first.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Here's Dalton to throw. Finds him over the middle. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Dalton looking to throw. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Motioning the tight end left. This finds Evans, complete. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Throwing here, Dalton. Complete beyond the marker. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And it'll give the Panthers a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. It's caught. That's Thielen. And able to get this down to the 15 before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd and 6 coming up here. To throw, here's Dalton. Catch made by Chuba Hubbard. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Dalton. This throw is caught. He has the Carolina touchdown. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. And he sure did.
For the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers tie things up at 14. Right, ready to send this one away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. And they've had a real connection looking his way in our opening half. Seems pretty clear that he's the one the coverage is going to have to adjust to and start slowing down. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's a give inside to Kamara. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
When you call that 1st down running play, you don't always expect to get those kind of yards. They'll take that every single time.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Now Wilson on the play fake. It's caught left side by Hill. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at the vault. The Saints looking for a score before halftime. The 2nd down. From the 39. Taken in by Shaheed. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
They'll motion him out of the backfield. Wilson on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught by Cooks. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Once more, it's Wilson. Completed over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That pitch and catch won't show up as a big play on the stat sheet, but it gives his own defense a little time to rest and gives an offensive coordinator a new set of downs to work with.
Now the Saints hustling people forward. They need to get set. Sticking in the air with Wilson. Short pass brought in. And they're going to touch him down after a short pickup.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Now the Saints hustling people forward. They need to get set. Russ is cooking again. This is complete to Olave. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
On 1st down, it's Wilson. He's on the move. He can run it. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line. We have a timeout here. 2nd one taken by New Orleans. They're set. 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Brought in close to the 8. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. The Saints call their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They kick the running back in motion. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that one's incomplete, but boy, are they lucky it wasn't intercepted. That was a risky shot, but fortunately, they still have 2nd down coming up.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, Oh, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Shotgun snap for Wilson. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away. Third and goal. Wilson to throw again. Play didn't break how they wanted it, and he throws this away.
I'll tell you this, Kate, so we got to be on the same page with one another and get both ends of the play right to execute, both the protection and ultimately completing that ball. They certainly want that play called back.
On fourth down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. Nicotomni's kick is good. And they've taken back the lead. So at halftime, the Saints fighting to an advantage on the road. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. We'll be on now to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Carolina ready to get things started on offense to begin the third. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half too as they chase this lead. Dalton now to throw. McMillan hauls it in. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Making the stop that time, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
On second down, it's Hubbard. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
They put a receiver in motion right. Here's Dalton to throw. That pass complete to McMillan. And he's going to be across midfield close to the 45 before going out. After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. From the 46. He'll get this to ETN. And they'll get there and stop him at the line.
Kate, I'm going to call that, even though it looks like nothing on the stat sheet, a win-win for both sides. Defense, well, they rally. They get right to that throw in the flat for a no gain. The offense, well, they just remind that defense. You not only got to cover us vertically, but we're going to stretch you horizontally as well.
Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Couldn't connect right side, it's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's second down coming up.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those chunk throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
Second and 10 now. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers take the lead right away in half number 2. The impact this guy has had on this game, Brock, has been massive. They'd be on the comeback trail right now if it wasn't for his 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that second one far bigger than his first when you just look at the game circumstances. Puts him in front here in the second half. It puts a little jet fuel in the engines of their defense.
Right on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Panthers take a 4-point lead. The 26-yard line. The Saints and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. First down, here's Russ. Gets this one to Shaheed. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. That's into the hands of Moreau. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. He manages a gain of 8 there. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Running behind center with Kamara. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Russ now from the gun. This is reeled in by Kamara. And he goes out, just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
Ooh, he knew he was going to pay for throwing that. I knew it from up here in the booth watching that happen. But that's an experienced quarterback. If that first primary target isn't there, make sure you find your safety valve. And that got them some yards, so taking that shot, well, it was not for nothing.
Wilson throwing 3rd and 1. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Now they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Wilson now from the gun. He's got Shaheed. This is ahead for about 5. Josie Jewell making that stop.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Kamara gets it. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Jadeveon Clowney on that stop.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He has the first over the middle. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. And that play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. That's complete to Kamara. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I've seen it once. I've seen it 100 times. Next week on the practice field, this running back's going to say, see, I'm not just a running back. I can play receiver. And you receivers, you couldn't do my job, but I just showed you I could do yours.
Now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Running back sent in motion. Working inside the red zone. He brings it in. Touchdown, New Orleans. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
This is the time of the game where your legs just get a little bit tired. But that was a determined-looking drive right there. They were not going to be denied, and they're able to score and take the lead.
After. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Saints push their lead to 3. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Blackshear on the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. The Panthers are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Dalton looking to throw. He finds Sanders. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that game. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Throwing here, Dalton. Pass complete to Hubbard. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the 1st, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Out of the shotgun, give to Hubbard. It's on the turf, the ball's out, he lost it. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play.
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
The Saints ready for their next series. Let out on offense by... So just like all touchdowns, all turnovers also reviewed, and they want to take another look at this one. Yeah, pretty bang-bang play out there. It's tough to see exactly what happened on our first look in real time.
But you know what I like here, and I do appreciate, and these officials are so good at let the play just play itself out before calling it dead. Now all the replays and the camera angles will give us such a better idea of really what happened.
Take that fumble away. The officials overturn the call and say he was down. Here we go, 2nd and 9. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down. Finds his target, Allen. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be good for a Carolina 1st.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
1st down, ball at the 36. Here's Dalton. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he's able to get this down to the 13. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Man in motion, headed right. A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the 3rd quarter. The Panthers have it to start, coming in trailing on the scoreboard. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Here's Hubbard on the give. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And he'll take this only to about the 11 before going down. Only a couple yards there, and now it's 3rd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. To throw, here's Dalton. And he will score. It's a Carolina touchdown. The Panthers take a 4th quarter lead. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Now a try to go up by 4, put it out of the range of a field goal. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers take a 4-point lead. Right, ready to send this one away. Fielded at the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Saints ready to return their offense to the field. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Wilson with it on 1st. That's going to be caught by Cooks. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. They've got 2nd and 4. Tight end in motion left. From the 37. Got his target. It's Hill. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a 1st.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They kick the running back in motion. On 1st down, it's Wilson. Completed over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now a run with Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Shotgun snap for Wilson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the Big play drives them backward. Second down coming up.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more? Or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
Offense to the line for second down. Trying again following the sack. Catch made by Cooks. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Panthers into the nickel set. Third down coming. Running back sent in motion left. Throwing on third, Wilson. That's caught for the first. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. They gain 14 on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
First down, here's Russ. Taken in by Shaheed. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
They bring Olave in motion. Run here with Kamara. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Wilson now from the gun. He's got it! And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Third down, 1 yard to go. He'll throw it. On the move, and he will score. It's a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints take a fourth-quarter lead. Russell Wilson with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Groupie's extra point is good. And the Saints push their lead to 3. Blackshear on the return. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. He's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The Panther offense headed out to the field. And we've seen some matching touchdowns as of late, so the scoring coming at a good clip, Brock. Let's see if they can keep this up.
You know what's fun, Kate? After all of these years, I have friends that are offensive guys and friends that are defensive guys. And my friends watching this one offensively love it. The defensive guys, they're climbing up their walls.
Connects with Hubbard. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Up the middle, Hubbard. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they can stick it right back in the pocket for a later occasion.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. Allen, the motion man left. Dalton now to throw. Gets this to Sanders. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Charlotte. Panthers trail by a field goal. Here's Dalton to throw. Hubbard hauls it in. And he's out of bounds just short of the 30. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll give the Panthers a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Setting up the screen. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, well, that defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Now to throw. ETN on the catch. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Not terribly complicated on this one, just not the 3rd down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the 1st, and apparently, little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
On comes Matthew Wright. A lot riding on this kick. From the right hash, 55 yards out. That kick is no good. Oh, he mishit it. And that should be their last gasp in this game.
Kate, I think in their heart of hearts, they knew what they were getting from that distance. That's no gimme at all, not even for the most talented kickers in the league. Just couldn't get him a better look. And that's how possibly their last chance goes.
Now we get a timeout by the Panthers. It's their 1st. And let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They stay on the ground with Kamara. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. 3rd and 4. They send the tight end in motion left. It's Kamara on 3rd down. And he'll move him forward down to the 46-yard line. Now the Panthers decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. The punting unit. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. They could only set up a lengthy field goal attempt their last possession, Brock, so some room to improve in how far they can advance the football. And Willie, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. So this will win on the road for the Saints. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. This has been another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. With all our crew here and my broadcast partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. It's a win for the Saints as we say so long from Charlotte.